Hey, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo Plus and here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. I'm Mike Catalano along with Jenna and Dan Fates. Tre White made his decision today to stay in to play football. Guys, you were both on the call with Tre yesterday along with me. Were you surprised? Jenna, we'll start with you, that he's deciding to play.
I am very surprised because he talked about making the decision and how tough it would be, weighing the options of his family having to protect. He has two young boys as well as a longtime girlfriend, and the risk that he has, going to the facility, possibilities of there being a COVID outbreak, and the fact that he even mentioned that his girlfriend's grandfather had passed away from COVID. And I was very surprised to see that he will be, in fact, opting in playing for this season.
Yeah, I agree too. And on top of that, I thought the social media post he had today on Thursday in the morning kind of saying, the fans kind of calling him out. Bills Mafia was trending at one point on social media, and it wasn't for going through a table or anything like that. It was pretty much because Tre White was kind of calling them out because he felt attacked, that he was selfish for even thinking about opting out. Like this is it got pretty ugly there for a little bit. And especially when Tre White saying, he's not selfish by any means. He's thinking about his family over football, and it's unfair. I think all three of us can agree on it. We've talked about it a little, off camera, how soon the players had to make this decision. Yeah. They've only been at the facility for about 5 days. They're still getting done with testing. They're still trying to figure things out, and they're automatically, not a gun to their head, but kind of like, hey, make your decision now. And I think that's tough.
Yeah, I think it's tough. And I also think when I hear fans, and some responded to me when I said that, of saying, well, the team's got to put everything together. Yeah, I know that. But guess what?
It's Tre White.
Do you know that?
Well, if for some reason today the Bills decided we want to cut Tre White, they can cut Tre White. Like, they are in control of rosters. Yeah. And look, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane want Tre White playing. There is no one, I believe, on that team that loves football more than Tre White. Right? We've seen the guy. He loves the game. He loves the studying. He loves the film. He loves everything about it. And I get the feeling he's the kind of guy, once he became a dad, he loved everything about that. We've seen him at camp. We've seen all that. And I think this deadline and the stuff surrounding it does heighten some insecurities that we all have. But Tre was in a position of having to make that call. And other people have said to me, oh, what about my job or your job? Our jobs are not like them.
Yeah.
No, one, there's a rule here. Opt in or opt out. If you opt out, you can't change your mind. So you have to make it for now and say it's done for the year. I think people are being so unfair. And Jenna, there's no financial benefit to him. He wouldn't be getting paid if he opted out. Yeah. And he pushes back his big contract at least another year. I don't see where the selfish part came in.
That's why I was stunned when people were saying, oh, well, it would be selfish if he didn't play this year. It's like, these guys, I understand that the NFL can be a business. Obviously, that's a portion of it. But at the same time, these are people. They have families. Tre White has young sons.
You mean they're not just uniforms for the guy?
I know. Yeah. And while I get that people are impassioned and they want to see their football team out in the field, these are also human beings that you have to put into play. And you know what? Tre White was going to be losing money. Yeah. It's not a selfish decision. And I mean, it's a lot of pressure to make that type of decision, and you could tell that he was very labored in doing so.
And Dan, look, I understand fans being disappointed. I'd be disappointed covering the team. I want to see the guy play. But there's a level of disappointment, and then you just say, okay, this person, Tre'Davious White, a person, would make a decision. He's not saying, trade me, get me out of Buffalo. He wouldn't be playing. Right. And look, I don't think it's all Bills fans. I don't think it's even a large number. It's just a vocal group.
Well, and that's when you always have to – sometimes you have to take a step back and realize a fan is short for fanatic, and they just can't comprehend that Tre White could be thinking about something other than the Bills. But I look at this too, and guys, I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit, just kind of through text messages, that Tre White seems so torn over making this decision. Mike, you even said he's probably went up to 3-4 o'clock maybe making that decision. Who's to say that he lasts this entire year? Now I hope the NFL goes off without a hitch and there are no outbreaks or anything like that. Yeah. But again, we always kind of looking out of the corner of our eye going, well, what's the MLB doing? There were players that bought into the MLB season, and then the Miami Marlins had an outbreak, and the St. Louis Cardinals have an outbreak, and then Lorenzo Cain, who's an MLB All-Star, said, okay, that's it, I'm done. Like, that got way too serious. God forbid something like that happens in the NFL, and all of a sudden players are going, well, hey, I only had 5 days to decide. Now all of a sudden it's I want out, and now Trey and those guys are really at a disadvantage.
Yeah, there's no question that's the case. And Jenna, I don't know what the league would do. And I'm not saying there'd be, a run of 50 guys who say they want out. But I'm saying is if an individual player, and we'll use Trey because he's there, if a month from now, a month and a half from now, whenever it is, he goes to management and says, I can't do this, what do they do? What do they do with his contract? He's walking away from the game, but it's not like he's retiring and he's done. He just doesn't want to play in these circumstances.
Yeah, and I mean, that is what is going to be interesting to see, because I frankly, like, I'm mad you're asking me this question because I'm not sure even how to answer it. Because, if players were to opt out, that would be a final decision. They would have the stipend or the loan. Or if they decide to opt in, that means whatever. But at the same point, like you said, if down the line things change, and who's to say that they won't, how would that affect a contract? Would the contract, depending on how many games or practices, would the contract still toll? Would it be enacted? Like, there's a lot of money that is on the line in these contracts. And that to me is going to be a huge contention point.
And the league can't just allow a player to say, well, I'm walking away. Like, they're going to have to make some provisions. This is not normal circumstances, because otherwise a guy like Antonio Brown, when he didn't want to be in Pittsburgh, would have just said, I want to leave. And how do you handle that? So I don't know if the league has thought that out, Dan. I don't know if they are just saying we've set this deadline and that's your chance. But
I don't think they have.
Also, we keep going back to this. This is 5 to 6 months.
Yeah.
This isn't a sprint. This isn't the NBA bubble. This isn't the MLB sprint. This
NHL,
is a 5-month, 6-month grind. And Trey even said that does he want to do this for 5 to 6 months? He may be thinking, okay, I'll give it a month, and then we'll cross that bridge, which I think a lot of players would really like to have that time to say, hey, you got until a week before the NFL starts, like the games start, to say, hey, look, take your time, then you decide.
I was thinking about it in terms of like a relationship, like the first week where you're like, this is great, I can totally do this. And then like 5 months down the line, we're like,
you're quarantined and you're like, I don't think this
insanity. I'm not doing this. Like, to have someone make a decision off of a week and a half, 5 days in the building like that, to me, it seems very short-sighted.
All right, just for anybody watching, everything okay at home?
Just saying, we're good. Yes. But, I mean, like, is that not a proper analogy?
Yeah, in this case, because everything is so different. And Dan said it, and we'll close with this a little bit. I want to see everything go great. I want to see everybody healthy. I watch the NBA and the NHL, and I see those big zeros for positive tests. And the players seem to be embracing the environment they're in. It's harder in football. It's hard in baseball. We've seen it. It's harder in football. We want it to go well. We want everybody to feel comfortable. We want the games to go on. We want all that. But we're also being realistic. What is it? 60 some odd players have already opted out leading to this point. And there could be another, I hate to use this term, another wave of that where players get frustrated and maybe aren't happy. So we'll just have to wait to see how it plays out. Right?
Yep.
I'm scared.
But for Bills fans, at the moment, you've got good news. Tre White is going to be playing this year. You've got good news, Jenna. Everything's good at home.
Everything's fine.
Dan's got good news. Got the little baby at home.
Baby.
So everybody's happy. Everybody's in good shape, right?
We're doing good.
Just tired.
My dog is now concerned over here. It's okay.
Just
well, everything is good here. Hey, check out Buffalo Plus, certainly, and our YouTube page. And posted as of Thursday night, a brand new Buffalo Plus podcast. Listen to the podcast. More of this hilarity on the podcast, too, wherever you pick up podcasts. Just go ahead and check that out. For Dan Fates and Jenna Cottrell, I'm Mike Catalano. Thanks for watching.